Did you know that persistent itching on your body could be more than just an annoyance, especially as we age? What if that simple itch is a warning sign from your body about something much deeper? As we get older, our bodies go through changes, and those little signs we often ignore can be crucial in detecting health problems early on. In this video, we'll uncover 5 specific itchy spots on the elderly body that you absolutely should not ignore. You might be brushing off a small itch or discomfort, thinking it's just part of getting older, but what if it's signaling an underlying health condition like poor circulation, kidney disease, or even heart problems? By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these warning signs, but also understand how taking early action can significantly impact your quality of life. Ignoring persistent itching could be doing more harm than you realize, and knowing what these symptoms mean can help you make smarter, healthier choices for your future. So, stick with us until the end, as we dive into why it's so important to pay attention to these signs and how addressing them early can help you live a longer, healthier life. You won't want to miss out on this crucial information. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Itchy place number 1. The shins. When it comes to itching on the shins, many older adults tend to dismiss it as nothing more than a minor irritation. It's so easy to assume that a little itch is just part of the aging process, something that comes and goes without much thought. However, that persistent, nagging sensation on your shins could be a sign of something far more significant, something that shouldn't be ignored. That itch might not just be an inconvenience. It's your body's way of calling out for attention, warning you that something deeper is at play. And while the discomfort is easy to dismiss as just dry skin, it's crucial to recognize that this could be an early signal of poor circulation. It's almost like a cry for help from your body, one you don't want to overlook. The skin on your shins, often overlooked and taken for granted, is one of the first areas to show signs of poor circulation. It's far from the heart, making it more vulnerable to the effects of reduced blood flow. As circulation slows down, your body struggles to deliver oxygen and nutrients to your skin, which can result in dryness, irritation, and that all-too-familiar itch. Sadly, as we grow older, the elasticity of our blood vessels starts to diminish, and conditions like poor circulation become far more common. It's an unfortunate reality that aging brings with it a host of health challenges, many of which we simply can't ignore. But that doesn't mean we have to sit idly by and let these issues spiral out of control. One of the potential culprits of persistent shin itching is a condition called peripheral artery disease, PAD. This is a serious condition that occurs when the arteries that supply blood to your limbs become narrowed or blocked, often due to plaque buildup. The effect is restrictive, like trying to force a current of water through a tiny, clogged pipe. Blood struggles to reach the skin, leaving your shins vulnerable to dryness, itching, and discoloration. PAD doesn't just cause discomfort, it's a major red flag, a warning sign that could point to something much more serious, like heart disease or stroke. It's easy to brush it off, but the reality is that untreated PAD can severely impact your lifespan, reducing your quality of life and health in ways you don't want to imagine. But the connection between itchy shins and poor circulation goes beyond just discomfort. It could be a precursor to something even more alarming. When blood isn't flowing as it should, the repercussions are far-reaching. It's not just about your legs anymore. It could indicate that your heart or other vital organs aren't working as efficiently either. The early stages of PAD might not cause much pain, but don't let that fool you. The longer you let it go untreated, the more likely you are to face long-term complications, which could include ulcers, tissue damage, and even amputation in the most extreme cases. That's why it's so vital to listen to your body, to trust those small, seemingly insignificant signals like the persistent itch on your shins. It could be a sign of something bigger, something that could affect your overall health. Let me share a story that underscores just how important it is to pay attention to those little signs. Mrs. Thompson, a vibrant 72-year-old woman, began noticing a persistent itch on her shins. At first, she thought it was just the usual dry skin, something many of us face as we age, but the itch wouldn't go away. Despite applying lotion and taking extra care of her skin, the discomfort lingered. Her daughter, seeing her mother in growing discomfort, urged her to seek medical attention. Reluctantly, Mrs. Thompson agreed to visit the doctor, and after a thorough examination, she was diagnosed with peripheral artery disease. The news was alarming, but the silver lining was that, because of early detection, Mrs. Thompson was able to take proactive steps. She made lifestyle changes, including medication and a new focus on physical activity, all of which helped improve her circulation. Her health improved, and her shin itching gradually subsided. The experience taught her the critical importance of taking control of her vascular health. Now, she's more mindful of her body and listens carefully to any signs that something might be wrong. If you're experiencing persistent itching on your shins, or if you've been struggling with dryness or irritation in that area, please take a moment to consider that it might not be just another nuisance of aging. It could be your body's way of telling you that something more serious is at play, like poor circulation. Don't wait for things to get worse before you act. Sometimes, something as simple as an itchy shin can be the catalyst for making the right decisions about your health. Listen to your body, be proactive, and don't be afraid to talk to your healthcare provider. Catching potential issues early can make all the difference, helping you maintain your health, vitality, and quality of life as you continue to grow older. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Itchy place number 2. The hands and fingers. If you've been experiencing persistent, nagging itching on your hands and fingers, it's easy to dismiss it as just another minor nuisance. But here's the truth. This isn't something you should simply brush aside. While the sensation of itching can be uncomfortable and frustrating, it may be a red flag, signaling that something more serious is brewing underneath the surface of your skin. Often, we're so focused on our busy lives that we ignore the whispers our bodies give us, but it's important to listen. Persistent itching, especially in areas like your hands and fingers, could be a sign of a much deeper, more significant health issue, including kidney disease or even diabetes. And this is not just something to shrug off, it's something that requires our attention and care. Think about it. Your kidneys have an incredibly important job. They're the silent workers of your body, filtering toxins and waste products from your blood. When they begin to fail or struggle, that job becomes much harder, and the toxins start to build up in your system. The result? That persistent itching you can't ignore, especially in your hands and fingers. It's not just a random irritation. It's your body's way of sending out an urgent call for help. As your kidneys fail to do their job, you may experience itchy skin, particularly in these areas, as one of the earliest warning signs. This issue becomes even more relevant for older adults. As we age, the risk of kidney disease rises, and the signs are often subtle at first. When kidney function starts to decline, it can lead to a condition known as uremic pruritus, a form of itching caused by waste buildup in the blood. The itching doesn't just stay limited to one small area. It can spread, becoming more intense over time. The hands, arms, and legs become affected, and it's not just irritating, it can be unbearable. As much as we try to brush it off, ignoring these symptoms can mean ignoring a serious health issue that needs immediate attention. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But let's not forget that kidney disease isn't the only condition that could be causing your hands and fingers to itch. Diabetes is another major health concern for older adults, and it's a condition that is all too common in our society. With diabetes, high blood sugar levels can result in dehydration, which leads to dry skin that's more prone to itching. But there's more. Diabetes can also cause nerve damage, leading to diabetic neuropathy, which might cause sensations like tingling, burning, or even the feeling of itching in your hands and feet. It's not just uncomfortable, It's a sign that your body is struggling to cope with something much larger. If we ignore these signs, the consequences can be devastating. Kidney disease and diabetes are serious, life-altering conditions that can steal the quality of life we so desperately want to hold on to as we get older. The longer they go untreated, the harder it becomes to manage them. But here's the thing, early detection is everything. It can make all the difference in the world when it comes to not just managing these conditions but truly thriving despite them. Take Mr. Johnson's story, for example. He's a 78-year-old man who spent months battling persistent itching on his hands and fingers. At first, he thought it was nothing more than dry skin from the harsh winter air or perhaps some mild allergic reaction. He dismissed it, thinking it would go away on its own. But when the itching didn't subside and he noticed his skin turning dry and discolored, he couldn't ignore it any longer. His daughter urged him to see a doctor, and after some testing, it turned out that Mr. Johnson was suffering from kidney disease. The doctor explained that the itching was caused by the kidney's inability to filter out toxins properly, leading to a buildup in his bloodstream. Thankfully, with the right treatment and some lifestyle adjustments, Mr. Johnson was able to manage his condition, and the itching finally stopped. This is a perfect example of why it's so important to listen to your body and act early. So, if you've been experiencing persistent itching on your hands and fingers, take it seriously. It may seem trivial, but it could be a sign of something much more concerning, like kidney disease or diabetes. And if you're also noticing other symptoms, fatigue, swelling, changes in urination, it's crucial to seek medical attention immediately. Don't wait until things get worse. Early detection and intervention can dramatically change the course of your health. It can help you take control of your well-being and maintain a better quality of life as you age. Your health is precious, and there's no reason to wait until it's too late to take action. Itchy place number 3, the neck and jawline. When we think of itchy skin, the first places that often come to mind are our arms, legs, or even our back. But have you ever thought about the neck and jawline area? For many, this part of the body doesn't immediately raise alarms when it starts to itch, but it can be a sign of something far deeper than just a momentary inconvenience. The skin in this area is incredibly sensitive, more so than we realize, and persistent discomfort that won't go away should never be dismissed lightly. It could indicate an underlying health problem, something that might be directly linked to the thyroid or even more intricate skin conditions that are often associated with the natural aging process. As we age, our bodies begin to change in ways we may not fully expect. Our skin, especially in delicate areas like the neck and jawline, thins out, loses its elasticity, and becomes more susceptible to dryness and irritation. The skin here is not only thinner, but it's also far more sensitive, making it more vulnerable to various discomforts. When we experience itching in these areas that don't seem to ease, it's easy to think of it as just a cosmetic issue, a dry patch of skin, perhaps. However, if this itching persists and doesn't respond to basic remedies, it's crucial to look beyond the surface. It may very well be a red flag, a sign that something more serious could be at play. The thyroid, that small but mighty gland nestled in the base of the neck, is one of the most common culprits when it comes to persistent itching in this region. The thyroid controls our metabolism and plays a key role in regulating hormones throughout the body, impacting everything from energy levels to skin health. One of the most common thyroid disorders, particularly in older adults, is hypothyroidism, a condition where the thyroid becomes underactive and doesn't produce enough hormones. This can wreak havoc on the skin, leading to dryness, irritation, and, yes, persistent itching. The neck and jawline area, due to its delicate texture, is often one of the first places where you might notice these changes, and the itching becomes more pronounced as the hormonal imbalance takes its toll. But it's not just thyroid issues we need to consider. Aging itself can bring about a host of skin changes that can lead to these uncomfortable sensations. As we grow older, the collagen and moisture in our skin naturally begin to decrease, and that leaves our skin vulnerable to everything from general irritation to more specific conditions like eczema, psoriasis, or seborrheic dermatitis. These conditions tend to flare up in the neck and jawline area, where the skin is more fragile. Redness, persistent dryness, and constant itching become a daily struggle. It's hard not to feel helpless when the discomfort doesn't subside despite our best efforts. These skin issues can be frustrating, but they often signal something deeper that deserves attention. The persistent irritation, if left unchecked, might just be a symptom of a greater underlying health concern. Take, for instance, the story of Mrs. Davis, a 74-year-old woman who found herself caught in a cycle of persistent itching in her neck and jawline. At first, she attributed it to the dry winter weather and thought a thick layer of lotion would do the trick. But the itching didn't let up, it only got worse. Her skin became increasingly dry and irritated, and no matter how much cream she applied, the discomfort lingered. It wasn't until she visited her doctor that the underlying cause was revealed: hypothyroidism. Her thyroid imbalance was triggering the dryness and itching, especially in the sensitive skin around her neck. After starting thyroid medication and adjusting her skincare routine, Mrs. Davis experienced a remarkable improvement in both the condition of her skin and the relief from itching. If you found yourself struggling with persistent itching around your neck or jawline, it's essential not to brush it off as just another inconvenience of aging. While dry skin could be the culprit, it's just as likely that there's something deeper at work, whether it's a thyroid imbalance, a skin condition, or another health issue that demands attention. Don't let the discomfort continue unchecked. Don't wait for things to worsen. Seek medical advice as soon as possible. An early diagnosis can be life-changing, sparing you from further complications and helping restore the comfort you deserve. Your skin, and your overall well-being, deserves that attention, especially as you navigate the changes that come with aging. Your quality of life matters, and addressing these issues early can make all the difference in helping you age with health, vitality, and peace of mind. Itchy place number 4. The back, upper and lower. Anyone who has ever experienced an itchy back, whether around the shoulder blades or lower back, knows how incredibly frustrating it can be, especially as we get older. There's something about that feeling that makes it almost impossible to ignore. You scratch and scratch, but the relief is short-lived. For many older adults, this is a common nuisance. But what if I told you that persistent or intense itching could be a sign of something deeper? Something you can't just ignore and hope goes away with a little lotion? You see, while aging and dry skin are often to blame, there are times when that itchiness might signal something more serious, something that needs attention before it spirals into a bigger issue. Take diabetes, for example. For those who have this condition, an itchy back can be more than just a random irritation. It could be a symptom that something's amiss with the body's blood sugar levels. When blood sugar gets out of control, it doesn't just wreak havoc on glucose levels. It also leads to dehydration. This dehydration dries out the skin, and when your skin gets dry, it becomes more sensitive, more prone to irritation, and, as you guessed, more itchy. But it doesn't stop there. Diabetes can also interfere with the nervous system, causing a condition called diabetic neuropathy. This can lead to tingling or itchy sensations on the back, particularly around the shoulder blades and lower back. I can't stress enough how easy it would be to brush this off as nothing or just dry skin, but I encourage you to dig deeper. You might be surprised by what you discover if you just pay attention to the signs your body is sending. But diabetes isn't the only internal issue that can cause this kind of back itching. Certain types of cancer, particularly those affecting the liver, can also result in this uncomfortable sensation. Liver disease can mess with the body's ability to filter toxins, and when that happens, these toxins can build up in the bloodstream and start irritating the skin, triggering itching. The idea of cancer crossing your mind while you're simply trying to scratch an itchy back is terrifying, but that's why it's so important not to ignore these signs. Yes, it's less common, but it could very well be the key to discovering an underlying health issue that needs to be addressed right away. Let me tell you about Mr. Harris, a 78-year-old man who, just like so many others, chalked up his persistent back itching to dry skin. It was especially noticeable around his lower back and shoulder blades. He thought the problem would resolve itself with some lotion, but over time, the itching grew worse, and he even started noticing some strange changes in the texture of his skin. His daughter, who had been observing these changes with increasing concern, finally insisted that he see a doctor. After a series of tests, Mr. Harris was diagnosed with early-stage diabetes. The doctor explained that his high blood sugar levels were causing his skin to become dehydrated and overly sensitive, leading to constant itching. With proper management of his condition, Mr. Harris was able to get his symptoms under control, and the itching eventually stopped. But here's the thing, Mr. Harris could have gone on for much longer thinking it was just dry skin, never suspecting that his discomfort could be linked to a serious health issue. The point here is that sometimes our bodies are trying to tell us something, and we need to listen. So, what do you do if you're experiencing consistent itching, especially around your back? It's important to stop and take stock of how often it happens and how severe it gets. While it may be just dry skin or a byproduct of aging, it could also be a signal that your body is trying to tell you something. Diabetes, liver problems, and other serious conditions might be at play, and addressing them early can make all the difference in your long-term health. Don't wait for the itching to become unbearable, or for more troubling symptoms to appear. Trust me, you don't want to be in a position where you wish you had paid attention sooner. Speaking with a healthcare provider about any ongoing irritation could be the first step to getting the answers you need, and more importantly, getting back on track with a treatment plan that helps preserve your quality of life. Your well-being matters, especially as you age, and it's worth taking the time to make sure that something as seemingly simple as an itchy back doesn't turn into a much bigger issue. Itchy place number 5. The feet and ankles. As we age, our bodies go through so many changes. Some subtle, some less so, that sometimes we don't even know how to respond. Among the most frustrating experiences for older adults is itching in the feet and ankles. Initially, it might seem like just another annoying sign of getting older, something that can be brushed off as a minor inconvenience. However, when the itchiness persists, when the discomfort lingers long after the fleeting moments of relief, it's time to stop and listen to what your body might be trying to tell you. The truth is that persistent itching and irritation in the feet and ankles is not always a harmless side effect of aging. While dry skin is certainly a common cause of itchiness, these symptoms can also be indicative of something far more serious going on within your body. When your feet and ankles begin to itch more than usual, it can signal underlying health issues that require immediate attention, especially as we get older. These issues might range from fluid retention, known as edema, to poor circulation, and even heart-related conditions that can affect your overall well-being. As you age, the circulatory system naturally weakens, and this decline can lead to fluid buildup in the lower extremities, resulting in an uncomfortable, nagging itch that seems impossible to ignore. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When we think of edema, we often think of swollen ankles or feet after standing for long periods. But the reality is that edema can be much more complex and much more concerning. Edema occurs when excess fluid accumulates in the body's tissues, particularly in the feet, ankles, and legs. It might start as slight puffiness that can be easily overlooked, but it can quickly progress, leading to noticeable swelling, pain, and, unfortunately, intense itching. If you've ever experienced the sensation of your skin stretching, tight, and uncomfortable, then you know how distressing it can be. But the itchiness isn't just an inconvenience. It could be a warning sign. Edema often arises from problems with circulation or issues within the heart or kidneys. For instance, poor circulation can have a profound effect on the skin of the lower legs and feet. When blood struggles to flow properly through your veins, the skin becomes dry, cracked, and irritated, making it prone to itching. You might notice that the skin becomes more fragile, less elastic, and more sensitive to even minor irritations. Conditions like peripheral artery disease, PAD, where the arteries in the legs narrow and harden, are one of the most common culprits of poor circulation. As blood flow decreases, the tissues in the feet and ankles suffer from a lack of oxygen and nutrients, which are vital for skin health. This deprivation causes the skin to lose its moisture and elasticity, leading to uncomfortable dryness, flakiness, and, of course, relentless itching. The reduced circulation can make it harder for your body to heal itself, even when it comes to small scratches or cuts, which only contributes to the discomfort. What's even more troubling is that poor circulation and edema can sometimes be linked to more serious conditions, including heart disease and kidney failure. If your heart is struggling to pump blood effectively, it can lead to fluid pooling in the lower parts of the body, where gravity works against proper circulation. This fluid retention can make the skin in the feet and ankles feel more sensitive, causing it to itch and become even more prone to irritation. In some cases, this accumulation of fluid and the resulting discomfort can indicate congestive heart failure, a condition that can be fatal if not addressed. The longer you let these symptoms go unchecked, the worse they may get, affecting your overall health and quality of life. Now, I want to share a real-life example of someone who struggled with this condition for too long before seeking help. Mrs. Williams, a 72-year-old woman, had been experiencing itchy, swollen feet and ankles for several months. Like many of us, she initially chalked it up to the inevitable effects of aging. It didn't seem like anything alarming, just some swelling at the end of the day, which many older adults experience. But when the itching grew worse, and the swelling refused to subside, Mrs. Williams finally decided to see her doctor. After undergoing a series of tests, she was shocked to learn that she had heart failure, which was causing fluid to build up in her legs. The fluid retention had caused her skin to become increasingly sensitive and irritated, leading to the unbearable itching she had been dealing with. Her doctor explained that the fluid was stretching her skin, making it more prone to discomfort. With the right medication to address the heart condition and reduce swelling, Mrs. Williams finally found relief. Imagine how much worse her situation could have become if she had waited even longer to seek help. This isn't just about itchiness, it's about taking control of your health before things escalate to a crisis. So, what do you do if you notice persistent itching or swelling in your feet and ankles? First and foremost, don't just dismiss it as part of the aging process. While it might seem trivial at first, the truth is, these symptoms could be indicative of much more serious underlying health issues. If you notice swelling, pain, redness, or changes in skin color, you must consult a healthcare professional immediately. Ignoring these signs can lead to severe complications, some of which could be life-threatening. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to not only addressing the itching and swelling but also ensuring that any underlying condition is treated before it worsens. The good news is that with the right medical attention, many of these issues can be managed effectively. Medications, lifestyle changes, and targeted therapies can help alleviate the symptoms of poor circulation, edema, and heart-related conditions. The sooner you act, the better your chances of preventing long-term damage and improving your overall health as you age. Don't let the discomfort of itching feet and ankles rule your life. Take charge of your health, and never underestimate the importance of listening to your body. Your well-being is worth the effort, and your future self will thank you for making the right decision today. So, what have we learned today? Itchy skin, especially on the back, might seem like a harmless issue at first, but as we've seen, it can sometimes be a sign of something much deeper. From diabetes to liver conditions, the root cause of persistent itching can be more serious than we realize. It's important to pay attention to your body and not dismiss the symptoms as just a part of aging. Early detection can make all the difference in managing your health and improving your quality of life. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to start paying more attention to in your life? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts with us. If you liked this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful content on staying healthy and living your best life as you age. Stay tuned for more.